Well, it looks like our little buddy Sebastian Bach's having a normal one.
Hey, this fucking bitch, get her the fuck out of here! She comes up while I'm talking to my wife saying, hey, can Sebastian give me a hug? I'm not a fucking monkey, get your fucking ugly ass the fuck out of here! Get her the fuck out of here!
I am positive you will never hear me again say that I think Skid Row will reunite with Sebastian Bach.
The hair metal guru from Warren to Crew. The hair metal guru. Never forget Charlie too.
Welcome to the Hair Metal Guru. My name is Anthony. They call me the Guru, and holy fuck. Sebastian Bach, I'm almost worried about the guy. Because he seems to be going off the deep end. I mean, what was it, just 6 or 7 months ago? Whatever, right around the election, when he's fucking hates America and wants to leave America. And now, at a concert in Vegas, he goes off on some chick. And the reason for him going off on this girl? Well, she had the gall to, before the concert, ask him for a hug. In fact, so I talked to the girl. Okay, we talked online. I reached out after I found out after this thing started to blow up, she responded to some news post about it and said, hey, this was me. So I reached out and we chatted about it. In fact, I asked her if she wanted to come on and she decided not to, but she gave me her side of the story. So, I heard about this through Metal Sludge. So Stevie Rochelle and Metal Sludge shared an article on it. And in the video, Sebastian is fucking raging against this girl and having her kicked out. And he even says, let me make sure I got the thing here. He even says, like this is what she did. Or here's what he says. Hey, this fucking bitch, get her the fuck out of here. She comes up to me while I'm talking to my wife saying, hey, can Sebastian give me a hug? I'm not a fucking monkey. Get your fucking ugly ass the fuck out of here. For a fucking hug, Sebastian? Jeez. You know, has any rock star that is still out there halfway doing it fallen as far as this fuck? I don't know. You know, it's the spoiled child syndrome. It's the kid who got too much too soon and never learned any sense of accountability because all they did was surround themselves with yes men. And people wonder why the fuck Skid Row doesn't want to get back together with this douchebag. You know, there's been times where Patrick and I did a video recently and I was like, you know what? The guy is talented. He put out a decent solo album. I hope it happens. There is no fucking way this happens now. Because you can see the guy has no control. He has no self-control. So, you know, who wants to put themselves in a situation to be around that? So, anyway, I reached out to this girl. I'll just say her name's Kat. And it's not like she's hiding. And I asked her if she was okay with me talking about this. And she said yes. Because I was like, if you don't want me to bring up what you've told me in the video, I won't. But she's okay with it. So, number one, I want to acknowledge that Kat says I only have Kat's point of view. So I don't have Sebastian's. But knowing what I know of Sebastian Bach, I tend to think what she's saying is probably correct, but I just want to acknowledge it's not like I got to talk to Sebastian Bach about this. Anyway, here's what she says. She says, I wasn't blameless. I'm not quite innocent. She said, I did flip him off. But here's the story that she gives that leads up to the point where she does flip him off and he rages and kicks her out of the concert. So here's what she says. The truth is, he was a dick to me when I asked him for a hug. I politely told him I was a big fan. May I have a hug? And he gave me the dirtiest look in the world and said, this is my wife, and pointed to her, where at that point, I apologized to the wife. So sorry, I'm just a big fan. And she wouldn't look at me. She rolled her eyes and wouldn't make eye contact. So let's stop there. Now, some people might say, well, does he have to go around giving hugs to everybody? Look, at a concert where people have paid to come watch you, and this wasn't a Sebastian Bach solo show, it was a Chevy metal show, but he was performing at it. Is it really a big fucking deal to give a hug to somebody who is obviously a fan of yours? Is that a big deal? You know, it's not like she was asking him to go nail her in the janitor's closet, like on, what the fuck was that? Like on Roadhouse, okay? It's a hug. I think most rock stars would be like, of course, oh, fan of mine, let me give you a hug. Oh, person who probably contributes money to my career and allows me to still make a living going up on stage and singing songs. Of course, a hug is not too much to ask for. How many male fans would go up and go, hey, can I shake your hand? I'm a big fan. Girls might ask for a hug. It's not that big a fucking deal. So Sebastian and apparently his wife, and I don't want to bag on his wife, you know, she's probably just a bystander in this, but apparently handle it like shit. Oh no, I can't give you a hug. For fuck's sake. So she rolled her eyes and wouldn't make eye contact. And so Kat says, well, I thought, what a bunch of dicks. You won't give a hug? So after Chevy Metal, and she makes it a point to say this is a Chevy Metal show, not a Sebastian Bach show. He comes up to sing a song. And I'm like salty because he treated me like shit when all I did was ask for a hug. So she's like, I'm like, fuck this dude. So she says, I'm going to take a picture of myself flipping him off because I thought it would be funny. Not an entire video. She wanted me to acknowledge that she wasn't like recording herself flipping him off. She wanted to take a picture doing it. And that's when he lost his cool, calls her a fucking bitch, calls her ugly, has her escorted out. So the reason that she wanted to make sure that she got her version of the story out is she says, and I hope people aren't fucking razzing on her and doxing her or whatever the fucking the term is for that. She says there's so many versions going around that I antagonized him, that I stalked him, that I wouldn't leave him alone, that I was taking a video and flipping him off throughout the whole thing, that she was yelling at him. She says that's not true. She took a picture of herself flipping him off and he went ballistic and kicked her out of the show. So you know what? Like for rock stars, you need fans. Like Sebastian doesn't even think, and I'm all for freedom of speech. You can say and do what you want, but he doesn't understand the consequences of going, you know what? I'm going to piss off half the country after the election and say I hate where I live. You know, some people are going to be okay with you saying that, Sebastian, but you're going to lose a lot of fans saying shit like that. And then, coming off and going up on stage and looking like a fucking baby. Somebody asked for a hug and you look like a petulant little child. Oh, I'm not going to give a fan a hug. What a douchebag. So he has no sense of, hey, let me think about and it's his prerogative to fuck his fans over. It's your prerogative, Sebastian. But this just makes him, it's all over TMZ, all over these other places, and it just makes him look horrible. So, yes, did he get flipped off? He did. But this was so avoidable. A fan asks for a hug, and you treat her like shit for asking for a hug. A fan? I'm not, maybe I have a couple fans. I can't imagine going to a concert or one of those Monsters of Rock cruises. I cannot fathom a scenario where somebody would say, hey man, I like your YouTube channel. Can I give you a hug? I cannot imagine the complete asshole part of me coming out and saying no. Even if I was with a girlfriend or a boyfriend, which I don't roll that way, but hey, whatever. I can't imagine a dude coming up and saying, hey man, can I take a picture and put my arm around you? Maybe they're like, want to give you, I can't imagine saying no. Like, who the fuck does that? When you're 57 years old and you're so lucky to still have a career in music, you're so lucky that enough people still take their hard-earned money out of their pocket and give it to the things, spend it on shit that you do, whether it's your CDs or albums or whether it's your concerts, that you can still live probably a pretty good life. I don't think he's rolling in the millions, but I bet he makes a pretty good living. And it's the fans that allow him to do that. And you're not going to give a fucking hug? And then you're going to go off during a show and kick him out? I can see where he got mad at the show, getting flipped off. I can see that. But you give a quick 2 or 3 second hug and it's over. You probably, you give that hug, that person will probably buy everything that you put out and support everything you do for the rest of your career for that 2-second hug. And now all you did is just shit on your reputation. Because you're a fucking child. Jesus Christ. I'm getting pissed just thinking about it. So, acknowledge that Kat played a role. She acknowledges that. But she also acknowledges, geez, she just asked for a hug. And even when he said no, apologized to his wife. And she shouldn't have had to. She shouldn't have had to. Sebastian, grow the fuck up. You're 57. It's time. There is no fucking way. In fact, I'll say right now that you will, I've said at various times, I'm like, I don't think the Skid Row reunion's going to happen. Then I have said, I'm like, well, Skid Row's been pretty quiet. You never know. I'm going to say it here and now. I am positive you will never hear me again say that I think Skid Row will reunite with Sebastian Bach. He's too much of a fucking child. He's too much of a loose cannon. No one wants to deal with that shit. It's done. Skid Row and Sebastian Bach are done because Sebastian Bach is a fucking baby and he will make you look bad. At some point, he will do something that will make you look like shit. Grow up, Sebastian.